Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. I'm by a lake, by a pretty little tourist village here in Nanning, Guangxi Autonomous Region, southern China. And but you see, that's not what this video is about. I just came here to do the video because it's not loud. It's picturesque. It's a good background. So if you don't want to listen to what I'm talking about, you can at least look at the background and say, oh, China's a pretty place. And oh yes, it is. But as I say, that's not what this video is about. Have you been watching the news, guys and girls? The Biden versus Trump saga continues, and it polarized the country to the point where neighbor is pitted against neighbor and friend against friend, family members against family members, all for their political views. And there's no way back from this one. You've got the Democratic states, cities, courts charging Donald Trump with whatever they possibly can. He just lost a legal action that cost him $355 million. Actually, it's $454 million, just about $500 million, guys. And it was a victimless crime. And he was, I think he was persecuted. And then they've charged him with 91 different indictments against his name. If he gets found guilty on all of this shit, he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, unless he gets a pardon by whoever becomes president. If he gets to be president, he'll just pardon himself. But you can see where the Democrats are using the penal system, the court system, to persecute and prosecute the main competitor of the Republican Party in the United States, using the courts for political gain. And then you get Donald Trump up on stage stating that crooked Joe Biden, and when he becomes president, he'll drain that swamp, and he'll use the Department of Justice against his opponents. And look at these girls behind me here, all dressed up in their little outfits. China just has something that a lot of the rest of the world doesn't have. But anyway, back to the main topic. So each side in this conflict, and it is a conflict. It's a political war going on in the United States right now, and they're using anything at their disposal to hamstring the other side. And Donald Trump will be the Republican nomination for president of the United States. We all know that. He's got, I think his rating has been as high as 61%. 61% of the Republican votes for Donald Trump. Okay, well, you really can't fight against that. Nikki Haley is trying to, but she hasn't won anything. And the only reason that Nikki Haley is still in the race for the Republican nomination is that she's betting on it that Donald Trump is shot down by the Supreme Court and can't run for president of the United States. Then she would be the shoo-in. But the Republicans aren't going to vote for Nikki Haley because she's basically a Democrat saying that she's a Republican. She has the same type of platform as Biden and the Democrats. So that's not going to work. The idea that she's still in there is the Democrat plan for if Joe Biden loses, then they've got a Nikki Haley in. But then you get into it even a little bit deeper, guys. Joe Biden isn't running the country. Who is? That's a good question. It's probably the military-industrial complex, the big pharma companies, the corporations, the people with the bucks are the ones that are running the country. You notice that Joe's always got these little cue cards. A guy brought him on the stage, announced, here's Joe Biden. He called the guy Booty Juice, Mr. Booty Juice. You know, so like his mind is gone. He has a hard time finding his way off the stage or on the stage. He mumbles, he forgets where he is, what he's doing, what he's talking about, and he's incoherent. So he can't be running the country. So it doesn't matter who gets in on the Democratic side, they won't be running the country either. The big company, the big corporations want the Democrats in because they can't handle Donald Trump. Donald Trump knows how big business works, and he's not easily manipulated. Like he doesn't need their money, so he can't be bought off. All of these other politicians, they get in there and they got $1 million in their bank account, and then after they've been in politics for a while, they've got hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, where does all that money come from? Special interest groups. It's just like a bunch of hens cackling, like seriously, holy smokes, man. But so let's go over here. This is, you know, and then you get the Chinese way of doing things. They've got one party. Over 90% of the people back that one party, the Communist Party of China. Yes, you see, it's all for the kids here, guys. Like seriously, they got little bunny rabbits. They've got a little horse here the kids can take a ride on. They've got goats over there. They've got, you know, this is just sort of like a family-oriented country where it's just it's not polarized here because over 90% of the population backs their government, which is a good thing. You don't have friend against friend, neighbor against neighbor. You don't have family against family all over politics like they do in the United States. So back to who's running the country. Well, it's not Joe. If Trump gets in, Trump will be running the country, and a lot of things will change. Can he save the United States of America? No, he can just slow it down. They're in decline. They have been in decline for a long time, and there's just no way to save it the way it is right now. It's too polarized. There's too much hate. There's too much poverty. There's drugs. There's homeless people. It's just way beyond any repair. But Trump will slow it down for sure. Maybe he'll extend the fall of the United States for another 10 years or 15 years. But other than that, no. The country is in decline, and it will stay in decline until a civil war breaks out. And I predicted a civil war in a video I did about a year ago. And I think the spark will be the 2024 election, because if Trump doesn't win, his people are going to go nuts. If Trump goes to jail, his people are going to go nuts. If Trump's not allowed to run for president, his people are going to go nuts. If Joe Biden gets in, he's not going to make it to 5 years. So then you got Kamala Harris as the president, and she's super easily manipulated. And the big pharma companies and the military-industrial complex will be running the country just like they are right now. But it all hinges on that Donald Trump, doesn't it? You know what I mean? If he doesn't get in, I was looking at the graphs about the 2020 elections and how the votes went back then, and you can see at the last moment, all of the mail-in ballots were 100% for Joe Biden. They did. They stole the election, and I think Don's right on that one. That the Democrats did steal the election, and I'm not sure how they they did it, but they did it, and they're going to be under a lot of scrutiny this time. So you're going to see Donald Trump in as a president of the United States if he doesn't end up in jail. If somebody doesn't assassinate him, you see, that's another thing. I would have thought that by now, because that's usually the way it goes when they can't thwart somebody. Somebody takes it for the team and ends up in prison for the rest of their life. The Lee Harvey Oswalds of the world and whatever. And I was expecting that to happen to Donald Trump, and it might yet happen to him. We still got 8 months before the election, the general election in the United States. And I think that there's so many different scenarios that could play out on this one. But at the end of the day, they all point towards civil unrest, a civil war in the United States. And China will be watching, saying, man, that democratic system doesn't seem to be working very good for these people. They're so polarized that all there is hate in the country. The rich are richer, the poor are poorer. There's no hope for it. Anyway, that's my take on the 2024 election, and I'll be coming back every once in a while and talking about as things sort of progress, and let's watch and see if my predictions are true. Anyway, that's another video beside a lake here, Nanning, Guangxi Autonomous Region, China. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to resubscribe, because we know YouTube has been just deleting the living shit out of my subscribers lately. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye now.